Level 1. The Fan Bettor. This bettor knows the roster, the rivalries, the coach's bad habits, and exactly which referee has personally ruined his life. That knowledge is real. The problem is what happens next. He says, "I've watched every game. Great." The sportsbook was also aware the games were televised. When he bets Argentina, he is not evaluating a price. He is swearing a loyalty oath. Argentina can be overwhelmingly likely to win and still be a bad bet if the payout is too small for the chance of losing. A great team and a great bet are different products. The fan bettor turns one game into two scoreboards, the score on TV and the balance in his account. If the bet wins, loyalty has been rewarded. If it loses, the referee, the coach, the weather, or modern civilization is responsible. The price rarely receives an autopsy, but the fan bettor does have one useful asset: context. The next step is to separate desire from decision. He can decide what odds would make the bet reasonable before opening the app. If the price is worse, pass. This is emotionally difficult. The app has team colors, his spreadsheet has no heart. Then his team wins one dramatic game, and naturally, his confidence receives a promotion. Level 2. The Lucky Guess Bettor. He hits 1 plus 650 player prop, posts the screenshot to the group chat, and becomes a regional authority on probability. One hit is now an entire resume. The trap here is outcome bias, judging the quality of a decision by what happened after it. A result can flatter a bad decision or punish a good one. If you take minus 150 on a fair coin flip, risking $150 to profit $100, and choose heads, a win does not make that price good. It means an overpriced coin flip happened to land your way. The Lucky Guess Bettor remembers wins in 4K and losses as corrupted files. A 6-leg ticket misses by 1? Almost. A random upset hits? Vision. Neither is evidence of a repeatable edge. The fix is brutally simple. Record the pick, the odds, the stake, and the reason before the event. Then review the process without rewriting your memory. One win does not prove skill, and a handful of bets cannot separate skill from normal variance. To prove that his success was not luck, this bettor discovers statistics. Excellent decision. Potentially. Level 3. The Stats Bettor. Now we have tabs, filters, injury reports, home and road splits, and the last 5 games highlighted in 3 different colors. This is real progress. Data is better than vibes. Then he downloads enough data to prove the opinion he already had. This team is 7-1 on Tuesdays after a road loss while wearing white. It sounds precise. Precision is not the same as prediction. The sample may be tiny, the filter may be cherry-picked, and the opponents may range from champions to 5 people who met in the parking lot. Raw averages can ignore pace, role changes, injuries, opponent strength, and game context. A recent streak might reflect a real change. It might also be normal variation wearing a dramatic outfit, and even a genuinely useful statistic may already be built into the market price. Sometimes his model is a spreadsheet with green cells. That is fine. Every model begins somewhere. Trouble starts when the color green is confused with evidence. A stronger stats bettor tries to break the model, test it on data it never saw, check that no future information leaked into the past, and see whether its probabilities are calibrated. If it says 60%, those calls should hit about 6 times in 10 over a large sample. Even then, accuracy alone is not profit. Favorites can win often and still be overpriced. The better question is not which stats support my bet, but which inputs survive after I try to break them. Then the model finds 5 strong plays on the same night. This is where progress takes a scenic detour. Level 4. The Parlay Addict. He has finally learned to evaluate individual bets, so he combines 8 of them until he can no longer evaluate anything. To cash a standard parlay, every non-voided leg has to win. For independent events, the probabilities multiply, which means every new leg adds another way for the entire ticket to die. The Parlay Addict's favorite sentence is, "Only one leg missed." Yes, there were 8 opportunities for that to happen. Here is the clean version. If a sportsbook rolls 2 minus 110 bets into a parlay at the straight multiplied price, the result is roughly plus 264. 2 independent 50-50 coin flips carry fair odds of plus 300. That giant payout is not bonus money. It is the price of needing multiple things to happen, while the pricing disadvantage compounds. Same game parlays are even less suitable for napkin math, because the legs can be correlated, so the book prices the combination differently. The app celebrates the potential payout with colors, motion, and possibly more emotional support than your bank provides. Parlays are not automatically irrational. A parlay can have value when the joint probability is estimated correctly, and the offered combined odds are favorable, but it magnifies variance, pricing errors, and mistakes about correlation. Positive-looking legs alone are not enough. Before adding another leg, ask one question: would I bet each leg by itself at this price? If not, the parlay has become witness protection for weak picks. After enough one-leg heartbreaks, the bettor stops staring at teams and starts staring at the market. Level 5. The line movement bettor. This bettor stops watching just the teams and starts watching the price. A spread opens at +3 and closes at +1.5. At the same price, getting +3 early was the better number, even if that ticket eventually loses. This is real progress. It also creates a new problem. He begins treating every movement like a secret telegram from the professionals. Lines can move because of injuries, rest, weather, betting volume, respected action, limit changes, or a sportsbook managing its own exposure. The move may reflect new information or risk management. It does not arrive with a label explaining which, and chasing a move can turn a good idea into a bad price. He has learned to spot a sale immediately after it ends. The useful habit here is tracking the opener, the price you took, and the closing price. Beating a strong closing market over many comparable bets can be evidence that your process finds good numbers. It is not proof that tonight's bet will win, and the closing line is not infallible. If you took +3 at comparable odds and the market closed +1.5, you captured a better number. If you chased +1.5 and won, the result still does not make the worst number disappear. The next step is to stop asking, where is the line going? And ask, is the price available right now still better than my estimate? That question leads to the numbers we opened with, 57% and 49%. Level 6, the value hunter. This is the moment the question changes. He stops asking only who will win. Now he prices the uncertainty. Every betting price implies a break-even probability. -110 means risking $110 to profit $100, so you must win 52.38% of comparable bets just to break even. In a two-sided market, the raw implied probabilities can add to more than 100%. That excess is called overround, the margin built into the prices. Now, return to our example. The model estimates a 57% chance. The best available market price is about +104, which breaks even at roughly 49%. The 57% estimate holds up out of sample, and that price is actually available at a usable limit. The gap is 8 percentage points. At that price, the model implied expected profit is about $16 for every $100 risked across repeated comparable opportunities. It is not a promise of $16 tonight. The bet can still lose, and under the model it loses about 43 times out of 100. Also, an edge this large in a mature market should trigger an audit, not a victory lap. Did future data leak into the model? Did the model miss a lineup change? Does it match the exact market being offered? Is the price stale? Are the limits usable? The model's 57% is an estimate, not a leaked final score. The value hunter also shops for price. -110 and -105 look nearly identical on a phone, but their break-even rates are 52.38 and 51.22%. Small price differences matter when repeated. This bettor finally understands the central idea. A good bet can lose and a bad bet can win, but finding value is not enough if you risk half the bankroll, because the green cell looked especially green. Level 7, the professional bettor. This level looks less like a casino montage and more like a small accounting firm with poor lighting. Professional is not a magic title. It is a repeatable process. The bankroll is separate from personal money. Stakes follow written rules. Every wager goes into a log with the market, timestamp, price, model estimate, result, and where a meaningful benchmark exists, the closing price. Tax records also exist because the government remains undefeated. Some professionals use a fixed percentage of bankroll. Others use fractional Kelly, scaling down a formula that maximizes expected log growth under its assumptions because it is highly sensitive to errors in the probability estimate. The common idea is simpler. Bet size follows edge, uncertainty, and total exposure, not last night's mood. The professional specializes, compares prices, watches liquidity and limits, and does not force action just because a game is on television. If the model says 51% and the available price requires 52.38, the answer is pass. The team may still win. It was still a pass. This bettor tracks returns across meaningful sample, closing line value where meaningful calibration, model drift, and execution. A losing streak does not trigger an emergency backtest designed to make yesterday profitable. A backtest that remembers the future is fan fiction with formulas. None of this guarantees profit. Edges disappear, prices move, limits, taxes, costs, model error, and variance remain. A professional is not someone who never loses. It is someone who treats every wager as a price, every stake as risk, and every result as one data point. At level 1, a loss needs a story. At level 7, it enters row 438, and the evening continues. The system does not eliminate emotion. It prevents emotion from becoming the risk manager. And the most professional decision of all is often terrible television. Close the app and place no bet. You do not need to climb all 7 levels. If betting is entertainment, a lower risk version is a fan bettor with a hard budget. Treat the stake as the cost of entertainment. Never chase losses and never use money you need. Return to Argentina. Level 1 says, I believe in them. Level 7 may bet on them, bet against them, or skip the match completely. The decision is not loyalty. It is probability at a price. My model estimates 57%, and the available price implies a break-even rate of about 49%, is a more disciplined argument, not a guarantee. The model can still be wrong. An edge exists only if the estimate holds up, the price is actually available, and the bettor follows the process. Bet only where legal and only if you are of legal betting age. If gambling stops feeling optional, call or text 1-800-OOMY reset in the United States. The real final level is not predicting every game. It is knowing what you know, what you do not, and when to close the app.